what it looks like. But what's cool is the story of it is about ownership and co-creation. When you co-create a thing, you have much more ownership for the end product. And so we don't want just people to write checks and put money into films. We want them to get involved in the making of them, which is where people really would rather be if they could.
Yeah, totally.
And so we're getting them in that front lines. So can I show you the platform real quick?
Yeah, please. Yeah, I was going through the Discord, just kind of scrolling a little bit over the past couple of days too. So yeah, it's very impressive. But yeah, please walk us through.
Okay, so I'll start by showing you first. I'll jump into the WeGo.1 platform, what that is, and then I'll go to Discord and show you the community that's building.
Okay.
Here we go. And I'm recording this, so we'll have a documentation of it afterwards if you guys.
Perfect.
Okay, so WeGo.1 actually leads to the One Door Studios projects page. So it's actually One Door Studios is the company that put this together, and WeGo.1 is the place where you can shop for and crowdfund whatever products you want. So here we see at WeGo.1 calculated, the series is now close to $1 million raised. That's one of the projects. This is the sequels. This is the follow-up to the initial project called Calculated. So Simulated, Activated, Liberated are the other series that come with it. 700 people have invested up almost $1 million. My stream is the distribution technology that will be used to bring an aggregation of all subscriptions into one place where you can manage all your content and distribute that. And so that really comes to the crowd who is now distributing their own film in their own platform where they can actually do that, where they can monetize because you're not going to outsource your distribution. You have control over that. This is the original episode or movie that was funded for the development phase, and that number is not correct. There's over $2 million raised so far for Calculated. So when you go into the view of the project, you can learn more, but I'm going to go into, eventually there's going to be a button here and it'll say, would you like to fund this film or would you like to co-create the film? And so when you click to co-create, it'll bring you to the Discord channel. And so in the Discord channel, we are now co-creating with dozens of artists who have actually joined. And this is only a week old, so it's happening super
wow.
fast. And this is the WeGo.1 community. In here, you see this character. This is Red. Red is their kind of the wisdom guide of the journey of the heroine, who is this young 17-year-old girl. She gets captured by an international conspiracy, a cartel, and thrown into this prison. And Red is kind of her guide in this prison. It's a kind of a Count of Monte Cristo for a 17-year-old teeny bopper generation. You can imagine.
Nice.
And so these are the things that she sees when the Kung Fu starts, which of course you have to have Kung Fu if you're in China and you've been captured and you're trying to escape from the evil villains. And she sees everything in numbers, and she sees things in measurements and dimensions. So this is Phoenix. She's our key character. And so if you go into what the crowd is doing, this is what's happening right now inside this environment. People are creating the characters. They say, well, maybe Phoenix looks like this or that, or is this Maxima, the villain who captured her? And is this Chan, who kind of becomes this person who is significant in her life to help her find her way and get out of that environment? And here's the love interest with Kai, and here's her other digital capabilities and technologies and other experiences. These are all, there are now, I mean, pages and pages and pages of content being developed. And you have now the author of the book Calculated in there kind of commenting on it and saying, this is basically right, or this is wrong. For example, there's a place up here somewhere where she says, I'm not so sure if you're getting Red correctly. He looks too Buddha or Mr. Miyagi. We want you to feel more a modern version of that sage or guide. And so she does that. I'm going to see if I can find that because it's a really cool moment. These are, this is what she says Kai should look like. This is Nova McBee, she says maybe Olivia is our Joe or Phoenix. Maybe this is our logo. I'm going to jump here real quick to what you'll see is happening. I'm about to find her, I believe. Okay, so we start getting these different reds. The reason red started changing is the author started recognizing, yeah, I like what they're doing, but they're not getting red correct. And I gotta find where she does that. It's the coolest thing. She actually says he doesn't have a beard, and then suddenly you start seeing these ones without the beard. So that's why I know to find it. Here we go. Let's go a little higher.
So this is basically, so the concepting out for the characters, then it's going to be, once you settle on what they look like, is it going to be shot in live action, or is it going to be utilizing AI to make
we will
characters?
Very likely storyboard with AI. So this is actually the beginning of the character development in AI, and then we'll get into the storyboarding through AI. And then we will use AI for some particular scenes. So we may not necessarily use AI for the actual film, but very likely by the time the film comes out, it will do video at the level of cinematography that we believe it will be the first AI film. It will have AI elements in the film itself. So this is, and I'll give you an example. So she was saying, as for Red, they're all cool, but Nova McBee is the author. So let's start with this. The author comes into the Discord, the WeGo.1 environment, and says, as for Red, they're all cool, but I tend to prefer the short hair, no beard. In the novels, Red is a modern day Chinese man, even if he's a sage. So we say, well, what about the eyes? It's all about the eyes. And she says, yes, that is, it's those eyes capture his essence. And then now keep in mind, this is at 5:19 p.m. By 5:36 p.m., an artist comes in, his name Death Charge 5, says, is this more what you're going for? And then next thing you know, you're seeing this image of Red without the beard. That is how quickly these illustrators are using artificial intelligence to create the solutions.
That's awesome.
Wow, you guys are quick. Yes, this is the right direction. Then she posts an image of what she had in mind, and they get closer and closer to that image over time, and they're starting to develop Red together. The community, people she's never met before, investors, fans, they're all gathering and saying, this is what I believe the story is trying to tell. These are the important moments that I believe we need to cover, and this is how the story is kind of evolving.
I love it. It's such a really just amazing idea and such a fantastic use of the technology in real time. Yeah, this is awesome. What is the estimated timeline you guys are working on for the production?
We expect to be in development for another year, year of funding, and another year of creative and content. I don't have the final schedule with me, but I'll get a call. I'll get you interviews with the production timeline people and the funding people. I'm the marketing guy, so I've got one role, and it's very specific. So I'll have to make sure I don't give answers I don't know.
Gotcha. Okay, sounds good. Well, yeah. So basically, it looks like we would come on, probably then do basically the launch of this, try to get publicity, try to get more people signed on to invest and take part in the community. Correct?
Right. Yep. This is, and I'll show you the initial piece. If we get with the, and by the way, I don't care if you use this video we're talking as a place to share with your potential interviewers or media. I'll show you the welcome. Okay, so you get to the home welcome when you start. This is the first image. This is kind of a kickoff we did on the agency side to say this could be representational of the film kind of series. And this brand, this idea of the infinity symbol, 8 is a number, a very important number in the film. It's a beloved number in China of prosperity and success. And then we showed a couple ideas about what the film cover might look like, or key art or poster art. And this kind of became the symbol. And we said, okay, go. And the designers and developers entered the community and started creating the different pieces. And they did this all on their own. They just started coming up with ideas that said, this is what I read when I read the book, and this is where I think it needs to go. And this is where they came up with Joe and some of these other ideas about the runway models who were actually captive women. The big story in this is human trafficking. It's a story of human trafficking, and Victor, who gets out of that environment to make a difference. And that's what this is all about.
Fantastic. What is the just out of curiosity, how do you settle on the final version? Is that going to be something where the producers are going to settle on, like after they go through the process and everybody's kind of weighed in? Who makes that final call then? Is that going to be the
We're creating what we call the WeGo.1 Advisory Council, and that's made up currently of top investors who are part of the community who joined early. So early investors were given an opportunity, and additional investors will be given an opportunity to have voting mechanisms that we will put on these ideas. So we'll say, what do you think of red with the beard, or what do you think of red without the beard? And the voting committee will have a say on what content will be produced. So it'll have a very strong kind of community groundswell before it launches.